DVD Era TV back at y'all with another one live from the 30 section of YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the most fed blood in NYC, Rod Diggs and Jim Jones beef. Now, before we get into their beef, let's speak about Rod Diggs a little. Rod Diggs is from downtown Brooklyn, a member and leader of the Bloods, the big homie, of his set. And he's a very dangerous dude. Spent a lot of time incarcerated. He came home, still had one foot in the street and one foot on the neck of the rap industry. And he was fed. People didn't play with this man. He is about 6'1", 6'2", about 230 pounds, big cock diesel paws, and he was running through the rap industry, shaking it up around 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And he had his foot on the gas. Now, what I could say about Rod Diggs, he's a great leader, so I could see how he could be the leader of his blood set, because he's a great leader. Like when he rapped with his group with, the Murder Team with Uncle Murder and Waka Flocka, he seemed like he was the veteran rapper, and that was like his situation, like 50 Cent with G Unit or Jada Kiss and D Block. Like he seemed like the leader of the group. And the leader of the group should have been either Uncle Murray or Waka Flocka, because they was more the veterans, But he just looked like he had a movement and he had them behind him, and he left, hit the ground running. He's a great leader, And, also Jim Jones is a great leader. He brought Max B, Stack Bundles, and Mel Matrix, to the Bird Gang, and, they made history or whatever. Jim Jones is a great leader as well. Now, Rod Diggs is probably the first New York blood big homie to rap. No disrespect to Mel Matrix. Mel Matrix, he's a big homie too and all that. But I don't know. Mel Matrix didn't seem like he was too serious with the rap thing. I know he made raps because he was in a position to do so, but he didn't seem like he took it too serious. But anyway, let's get into the beef they had. Now, around this time, Rod Diggs was in the studio a lot with Shooter 93, running with him and making songs with him and stuff. So I believe more than likely if he was in Jim Jones' studio, he was with Shooter 93 or whatever. And, from what I hear from Five Guard and other people that was around Jim Jones and them, Jim Jones, when he working or he grinding or he's doing something professional, he don't want to hear no negativity, no street shit. He wants you to keep that forest away from him as possible. Now, Rod Diggs probably was in the studio, talking about old blood politics and all that. And Jim Jones said to him, yo, get the fuck out of here with that blood shit. So, Rod Diggs what? He yo, get the fuck out of here with that blood shit. So, they went back and forth. They end up calming Rod Diggs down. And, before he left, he broke one of the glass doors and got up out of there. Now, fast forward, Jim Jones had a show later on that night. And at Sue's Rendezvous, and your boy Rod Diggs pulled up with a few of his guys. And as Rod Diggs walks in the club, the DJ shouted him out, shout out to Rod Diggs in the building. And I heard the look on Jim Jones' face was Thomas, he was shook, he seen a ghost, they say. And basically, Jim Jones ended up leaving out the club without getting touched. So basically, Rod Diggs kind of gave him a pass, but I think it was more like a thing trying to show him how strong he was in the city, and if he wanted to, he could have did something to him. Now, I'm going to be honest. Me knowing people, I feel like Jim Jones wasn't really fully informed on who Rod Diggs was. He probably knew who Rod Diggs was as far as being a rapper and a member of the Bloods, but he didn't really know his background. He wasn't fully informed of who he was, because in Jim Jones' mind, the only blood big homie in Brooklyn to him probably is Mel Matrix, So he probably didn't know that Rod Diggs had his own set, and he was a big homie and a serious dude before the studio incident. And I guess after the studio incident, he broke the door and left. He probably made some phone calls, or Shooter himself probably told him who he was and how dangerous and serious of a dude he was. I just feel like Jim Jones ain't know who Rod Diggs actually was when he did that. Because if he did, I don't think it would have went like that. That disrespectful, at least. Now, what I do want to say about Jim Jones, because a lot of people like talking about Jim Jones, calling him a coward, calling him a sucker. Jim Jones been through a lot. He been through a lot in the streets and in the rap industry. He had beef with some serious dudes too, like Gangsta Lou, Rod Diggs, Al Poe, True Life, like serious dudes, and he keep pushing, he keep coming outside, he keep going, he keep moving forward. If that was a lot of you dudes that always got something negative to say about him, y'all would have been fell under pressure. And it's like Jim Jones don't let that break him. He keep going. If that was one of y'all guys that like to talk about him and how weak he is, y'all would have been moved to Ohio somewhere and we had never hear or see y'all again. You know what I'm saying? But this was just a small piece about Rod Diggs and Jim Jones beef. Know what I mean? I got more content on the way. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. 1.